Welcome back, Vagabonds, and welcome, Wanderers. Otz posted a video on the state of Dead by Daylight. If you guys don't know Otzdarva, not Otzdarva, he is basically the spearhead of Dead by Daylight. He's the spearhead community guy of Dead by Daylight. I ran through this video once, and it was super frustrating to listen to, so I'm going to run through it again. And I'm going to comment on everything being said, and we're just going to go through and we're going to look at kind of everything going on that he has to say, because it's honestly incredibly frustrating, and I don't understand where he was trying to come from with a lot of what he said. A lot of it is a language thing, and I feel like he's speaking for the 5% of players and mostly survivors, which unfortunately very infuriating when, 95% of the other player base, and you guys will understand what I'm talking about, is basically being told, no, you're wrong, and being punched down. And that's how I perceive it, a lot of what he's saying in this video. So we're gonna go through the video, and I'm gonna just, I don't do a lot of commentary, but I will do my best and go over how I feel about the statements that he makes in this video.
Hello friends, this is Otz, and today we're going to talk about a certain statement. 4 words that if you say them in this particular order will piss off a large portion of the Dead by Daylight community. If you have a lot of hours in this game, like myself, and you've played it so much that you're half burnt out, what I'm about to say might make a lot more sense. If you're a little bit newer and you haven't experienced that yet, it might not make so much sense, but I promise, hear me out, I will explain myself. The statement is as follows. DBD has gotten better.
So right off the bat, this feels like it's so diminutive and attacking all the players. Because this to me screams, oh, you don't have thousands upon thousands of hours, like 5,000, 6,000 hours in the game? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how good you have it. It's so wrong. It's so wrong, and it's so aggressive toward so many players who are struggling. And it feels a lot more like he's telling us, the players, Dead by Daylight, again, the 95% that I'm talking about, that our input doesn't matter, and that you're crazy for thinking that the game is in such a terrible place. He's talking at a foundational level, by the way. He's talking at a level of the game design, the map art, the sound design, all these different things. That's where he's coming from, and he's coming from it at a 100% pandering to survivors thought process. 100%.
This is something that some people will never accept, that they do not want to hear. They are convinced that the game has gotten worse because they are enjoying the game less than they used to.
And that's the other thing too, is there's a reason for it. And you're basically saying, oh, well, you're just crying about it temporarily, and you can't accept it. It's beyond your scope to even accept that the game is good and that it's better. That's how I interpret it. That's how I see it. That's my opinion of he's just saying, oh, well, no, you guys don't understand. You don't know what it's like. I have 470 hours in this game, but I have played enough ASIMs to know when one is properly designed. And if there was a competitor for Dead by Daylight right now, they would be done. They would have to actually put any effort into making the game genuinely better, not just you saying better and using, years old data, years old information of, oh, well, back in my day, which is what he's doing. That's all it is, oh, it's in a better state compared to years ago, years and years ago. I care about the now. I care about how I feel now, because how the game state is now compared to when I played way before, I get physically sick playing Dead by Daylight. I get chest pain, migraines. I feel like throwing up. I get so stressed. I can't even play it with friends anymore because it's like a situation. I don't want to say PTSD because that's just a hot flame word, but I can't really describe it any other way of like, as soon as I load into the game, it's just an immediate, oh my God, dread. And the game put me in that situation. It's like Final Fantasy for me. I stopped playing Final Fantasy for so long and I was nervous about loading it up and streaming it because of how I was treated in the game. And for this game, it's the game treating me that way. Like, come on.
But I honestly think that it's very difficult to debate this point. I think DBD
is very difficult to debate this point. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've also seen a lot of videos of people replying to this as well, and they're like, well, yeah, he's right. It is hard to debate, and like, we can't deny this and that. No, I'm 100% going to stand on this. I will die on this sword. You are absolutely wrong, Otz. This is a terrible take. Because outside of the core base foundation of the game, if you look at just game design, outside of that, how it actually plays, how, again, 95% of the fucking players feel, outside of your little group of, oh, competitive Dead by Daylight, where, what, you have perk bans, add-on bans, all these rules and stipulations on people, that's what makes it better for you and the people in your community who will play these competitive matches and go in like that. Sure, everyone else just queuing in 1v4. No, you're wrong.
Overall, especially in the last few years, has undeniably gotten better. And before we move on to the next point, I'll just...
Undeniably gotten better. You guys are going to see some of the bullshit he has to say. Just keep that in mind. You guys can't say he's wrong. It's undeniable. You can't argue against it. There's nothing.
Just quickly address a few points to support this claim, okay? First one, the chapters. A few years ago, we had chapters that were honestly disaster after disaster. From tanking the performance on console and making the game almost unplayable, to introducing new metas and a very broken map on launch that made everything awful and had to be reverted later.
This is convenient.
Literally nobody wanted to play against and made people disconnect en masse. That had to be reworked maybe 2 or 3 times since and are still a problem even to
now. Keep what he just said in mind.
Just such bad times. We were already very late into the development of Dead by Daylight and we still had these chapters come one after another.
So, okay, first thing I'm going to note is, where were you the last, 4 chapters? We still have people who will just immediately disconnect when they go against Karasu, when they go against Ghoul. What do you mean? And again, you're using age-old, nobody fucking cares, Grandpa. You're using age-old information. Look at now. Look at recent. People still immediately disconnect on Karasu, immediately disconnect on Ghoul. People still say that all these different chapters were absolute garbage. Content creators will joke and be like, oh, we don't talk about the last couple PTBs and last couple chapters. What the fuck do you mean? It's still happening. Again, this is a 95% issue. When it's happened to me multiple times, when it's happened to people I know multiple times, what do you mean? Where is this information coming from? You just not listen to the people who say oh, the Karasu update was god-awful? Or all, the chapter we're coming up with right now, Goodbye Trickster, and the perks that survivors are getting. What do you mean? What do you mean the chapters have gotten better? They're still releasing chapters that are just garbage, that people don't care for, killers that survivors will immediately disconnect against. What do you mean? Perks that have come out over the Walking Dead. The entirety of The Walking Dead. Otz, you were the one, he's not going to see this video, but he was the one who was, you were part of the stream. You were part of the stream where they had the guy on from the show and they just flopped it with all these other issues already going on with the chapter. What do you mean? You said it yourself. You're saying chapters are better? What the fuck, man? There were server connection issues. No one could play the fucking game. There were nonstop disconnects and crazy lag spikes. It was a crazy time for, attacks on the servers. What do you mean? Perk releases. When was the last time we had a genuine, wipe the scoreboard perk release for killer? At least. Sometimes I use Forever Entwined, Kaneki perk, so I can pick up faster, so it's less to deal with flashlights, lower the chance of someone running in for a pallet save. But I might as well run Lightborn, or just leave the guy slugged. All the Karasu perks, all the fucking the newest killer, the other Stranger Things or whatever it is, his perks. What's in there? Where? Where have the chapters improved at? They're still just sporadic, bug-filled killers that survivors just immediately DC over. Still to this day, the same killers. No matter what, terrible perks. That's not disputable, by the way. What he was just saying. You can't dispute that the game's gotten better. Shut up. You're so out of fucking touch with this. This is so out of left field. The fuck do you mean?
Compared to the chapters that we're getting today, they're not perfect, and we've had some flops in between, but for the most part, the killers are better designed.
Yeah, we've had some flops in between.
Not nearly as broken, and
killers are well designed. You say that while everyone's complaining about Kaneki. We still have people complaining about Kaneki. We still have people complaining about Karasu. Karasu. Nobody fucking plays Karasu because she was nerfed in the ground again. The First. That's his name. The First. Everyone complains about him. Oh, that's well designed. Yeah, DC's about, yeah, everyone complaining about that. DCing about that. Where's that at, Otz?
and do not cause as much trouble, and overall they have been more stable.
Do not cause as much trouble.
I can't do generator because the newest killer that they released is he's just camping me, and he has an ability that reaches too far and it's too fast and it hits too much.
Do you even listen to the 95% of the players in general? So many people, this is so out of touch. Is he being paid by Behaviour? It's so out of touch. I want to go back.
And do not cause as much trouble, and they're not perfect, and we've had some flops in between, but for the most part, the killers are better designed. The add-on and perk design are not nearly as broken and do not cause as much trouble.
No, they're not nearly as broken or cause trouble for killers because they're useless fucking perks. Like, what do you mean? Survivor-wise, we just got 2 perks for, yet again, increasing gen speeds. Like, gen speeds are now being done in like a minute into the match, minute and a half into the match. And these aren't like hardcore Hans players either. These are just your bread and butter, just go in, fucking TikTok obsessed. Oh, I'm going to use this because this slop creator told me this is a good build to troll the killer. Still getting that. What do you mean?
Trouble, and overall they have been more stable with less bugs.
Yeah, okay. Explain the ghoul. Literally, the biggest reaction to Kaneki is you can't even play the character without unintentionally abusing a bug or exploit with the character. You won't even know because he's so bug-riddled. What? There are plenty of killers that still have problems. They're changing Wesker because apparently that was a bug. Put Wesker in the fucking ground because now he can't do his dash or anything off of ledges or whatever, while every other fucking killer with a dash can. Fuck off. What do you mean? Behavior's putting it in place where either a mechanic with Wesker as the example for me, the live example for me with Wesker, it's either a bug that dash killers can dash off of openings, off ledges, and have more control over their dashes to be able to use it as part of their kit. That's either a mechanic or it's a bug. And if it's a bug, so many killers have that. Anyone with a dash has that. But if it's a mechanic, then they're just screwing over the one guy. And again, making it worse. And when I talk chapters, I'm talking about the extensive entire part of it. I'm not talking about like the looks and everything, because Karasu was a beautiful release in the garbage afterward. I love Kaneki. It was a great decision in my opinion. Now very hated. And the perks. And garbage. The first. Oh, it's another popular title that everyone loves, and it gave the game so much life. You know what else it did? It gave useless perks in the garbage. It gave a killer that everyone seems to be upset at facing because,
oh, he is so hard to avoid. Ugh.
The fuck you mean?
With a few exceptions, Walking Dead chapter.
See? Walking Dead.
The few exceptions.
Come on, man.
So overall, chapters, a lot better. Another thing I think is also very important are unfun and uninteractive scenarios. These are moments where a single player or a group of players...
I want to point an example in the top left here. Because yet again, this is more proof that this is pointing 100% towards survivors. Why don't you show the body blocking and holding hostage of killers? Why don't you show 1, 2, even 3 survivors coming in and body blocking me to save one guy who hasn't even gotten on hook yet? Or the multiple people able to run in on a hook at the end game to unhook the one person I finally get on hook at the end of the game. I've had instances where I'm not able to find anyone else but one guy, and I hook him a single time, and the entire match goes by because everyone has comms, everyone is hiding, everyone's able to abuse me, and then they open the exit gates and leave, or like one person's able to run me throughout the entire fucking match. If I try to break off and find someone else, they either come back around and wave in my face, ooh, chase me, or everyone else hides. You're speaking for survivors. It pisses me off because you're only speaking for the bad ones who get caught. And you're speaking like the killers who play are so god-awful and they're so abusive. This is so tone deaf.
Can basically bully you by holding you hostage in one place or making you bleed out on the ground for God knows how long. All of these scenarios that are really, really unfun and that can make a player honestly suck all of the fun of the game for you for several minutes, sometimes forever, have mostly been addressed. You can now abandon if you're being bled out.
I'm that player. I'm that person. You're lying to me. You're gaslighting me, saying that I'm the problem when I've had so many people body blocking me, bullying me, flash spam, running forever, not being able to actually get anywhere in the match. Protection, protection, protection. DS, 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 sprint burst, live. Never able to catch up with anyone. You're telling me that I'm wrong for having the opinion. I can't possibly defute your solid rock stone fucking argument that the game is so much better. Yeah, you know how much better the game's gotten? The game's gotten so much better that I uninstalled it because of the state of the game. Because of how it makes me feel doing a single match where now I can't even have fun with my friends because the game is so frustrating that the second I load up into it, it's just this wave of dread and misery, and I can't shake it off because it's the fucking game. Bots, are you so fucking for real right now? Roll it back.
Make a player honestly just making you bleed out on the ground where a single player. Another thing that I think is also very important are unfun and uninteractive scenarios. These are moments where a single player or a group of players can basically bully you by holding you hostage in one place or making you bleed out on the ground for God knows how long. All of these scenarios that are really, really unfun and that can make a player honestly suck all of the fun of the game for you for several times forever have mostly been addressed. You can now abandon if you're being bled out. You can no longer be.
Yeah, and you know what happens for the killer when you abandon? When you finally can? Because that's another part of the actual holding hostage part is you as the killer have so many crazy stipulations for abandoning, whereas a survivor can just abandon when they feel like pretty much. I've never before the most recent release. No, probably since Karasu, a little bit after Karasu. I've never felt the need to just quit a match because of how players were playing until recently. Because of how strong Survivor is now. I have more and more just flat out just exit game, not even abandon feature, just exit the match. Just gone. Take the hit. What do you mean?
Body block indefinitely. Most of the glitch and exploits that players could use to make themselves invincible or hide forever have been taken care of.
No, they haven't, because I can use fucking barbecue and chili, and because the range is so big, people can still hide, so I don't even get value out of the perk. I can use nowhere to hide, and people are able to just walk far enough away, or they have the comms for someone to say, oh, the killer's running toward your generator, start running away so your scratch marks disappear when I get there, and they hide, and I get no value out of nowhere to hide, so there goes 2 of my information perks. People can still hide insanely well. You're so disingenuous, you gotta be getting paid by Behaviour. That, or you're so dead set on not losing your fucking creator status. Or you don't want to upset mass majority survivors. So you also are part of pandering the issue. I feel so belittled and berated and punched down by this that I'm happy I uninstalled. Even more so. Like, why would I want to play when this is the mentality?
which is really, really good for the health of the game. And maps, which are a big part of this, have also been better. We had a string of really awful maps a few years ago when the map team was sorting out its internal staff, but
yeah, the maps look good, and I'm so happy he put up my favorite map as the example in the corner there, because I've had less issues on that map than most other maps. Like, huh? This is the map for me that's playable. What do you mean? Trickster's Dream, the PTB map right now. Yes, it looks gorgeous, and this is again. I can't argue against it. He said so at the beginning of the video. There's nothing to refute. That DVD's gotten better. Map looks gorgeous. Explain why, when I play Trickster, there are objects in the map that I can't throw through the gaps of the actual model. Like a food stand, I can't shoot through that gap where it hooks. I'm doing some tutting to explain it. I can't shoot through that, but anything else on any other map, if there is any significant gap or hitboxes are different or anything, I can shoot a knife through that. But a wide open fucking food cart, I can't shoot through the space. That's better map design? They drag and drop a hitbox cube through a model instead of actually following the model? That's better map design? And that's before they add everything else. Are you saying that is better designed with the palette placement that they chose? These incredibly long loops with corners and everything where you're so easy, it's easy to lose the survivors? Again, this is he's talking the 5% of players here. He's talking about the top 5% who have no problem with these things because they have 9,000 fucking hours at this point. Who fucking knows where his metrics coming from? Like, I'm between, again, 470 hours. I'm between the person who just fresh installed the game, has played 10 to 20 matches, and then decides if they like the game or not, and people who dedicatedly played the game for so long that they are just masterclass. I'm part of the 95% of players between that gap, between the fresh install and the, oh, I'm on the competitive EBD Discord. I'm in that 95% gap. That is a very wide range. And you're gaslighting me and punching me down and saying, "Oh no, this is indefutable. You can't argue this at all. You're just wrong. You don't understand, man. You weren't back when it was hip with me, man. You know, back in we had it so terrible. You should be thankful to Behaviour for how good we have it now." Bullshit. I played this game before I started streaming and I had a better time. I had a better time with this when I originally started streaming it. I had a better time with it before basically the Karasu chapter. And it's only gone downhill. I feel like my skill has worked backwards, where despite me improving and learning different mechanics, check spots, hitboxes of my knives, where I should be doing a lunge attack in the middle of a loop around in a small chase so I can actually get a hit before they drop a pallet to get that hit off, and all these other mechanics and things I've learned about the game, and I feel like I've been going backwards, and my experience has been awful. What do you mean? And I have to apply that to the maps that are better and less abusable, with the pallet density, with our now coming pallet drop speed perk, with all the perks we already have, where survivors can see all the pallets and leaps that there are available, and the sprint burst and the lithe and all this other shit. But maps are better and less abusable. Fuck off.
Now our maps are a little bit better. We no longer have as many spots where a survivor or a killer can make themselves uncatchable.
Yeah, we have less spots. We just have even stronger spots. Like, you can weave buildings in the newest map and just be almost uncatchable entirely, because as the killer, your choice is either, when I enter this door, my choice is either a door right next to the window or the window that they leapt through with lithe, and they run away from the door and hook around this big corner where there's another pallet waiting for me. So I have to go around that because they could just be baiting the pallet. What the fuck do you mean? It's not gotten better. It hasn't.
Or can make a hook unreachable, and even if
make a hook unreachable. Body blocking. Abusing the body blocking with one or more survivors body blocking me, the sabotaging that happens because people are running crazy sabotage perks or builds with swifts, and the flashlights that I have to constantly dance around. And what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? Hooks, like the placement of the hooks more accessible? Because sure, I can give you that if that's what you're talking about, but everything else around that does not make that okay.
If there are some exploits or some bugs, you cannot abuse them as often because
you can't abuse them so often. You know what the best abuse in Dead by Daylight is? Fucking Discord. Hey, killer's going over here with the person who he just picked up. Someone go sabotage that. I'm gonna run up alongside them and flash save if you can't break the hook in time. I've been hanging on this guy's shoulder for so long. Go sabotage this hook right here last second so that I have nowhere to go as a killer and I'm forced to drop someone. And then as I'm dropping them, I get flashlight saved and the person I just dropped has protections somehow. Like they just got off hook, but they didn't. They just dropped off my shoulder, but they have those same protections. And then after I work so hard to get that one person down, they sprint off in a direction, have the map to abuse and leap over and sprint off and go around corners and hug pallets and all these different loops that are hard to actually get through because they move as fast as me. Fuck off.
Because map offerings have been nerfed. You know,
guys, all these different abuses and issues with the killer and all this terrifying gameplay. Oh, you're wrong and you don't understand. You want to know why? Because map offerings were nerfed. Oh, that fixes everything. Oh, thank you, Otz. Oh, because map offerings were nerfed. I am now free from the burden of toxic survivors that I run into in 9 out of 10 of my matches. 19 out of 20 of my matches. Oh, thank you, Otz. Oh, I feel so much better about playing this game.
No longer have the ability to send yourself to one specific map where you can basically dictate how the entire outcome of the game is going to play out.
Yeah. You don't get to choose your best map. Now you can choose. Now you have a chance of going to your best map, but every other map works in your favor because of perks and how players play and how behavior has changed things for survivors to give them the benefit. And how killers always seem to get nerfs and like their entire kits just substantially changed. But nerfing the map offerings helps.
So I think this is also really, really, really good. Even though I still complain a lot about solo queue, trust me, I do not want to defend solo queue. It's so bad every time one of my teammates does something.
I'm not going to waste breath on this. They just need a solo queue option. Make it so that survivors can queue into solo queue, so then you can't have anyone you've invited to the game with you, and then everyone's on even playing field. Because if you're on the survivor's side, like me, if I play survivor solo queue, if I queue into a match, I'm still chancing running into 2-man, 3-man swifts, and then guess who's the target of tunneling and camping and getting out of the match really fast? The guy who doesn't have the forward communication to be told, hey, pre-run this generator, the killer is running toward you from across the fucking map. Then I suffer because I solo queued, because I'm not part of the Swift. Make a solo queue for the game. I don't care if it splits the server. It can't be as bad as it's been for 2v8, where the queue times are god-awful. It can't be worse than that. Make a dedicated solo queue. That's all it is.
Stupid that I know they wouldn't do if we were in comms. It feels awful. Even solo queue, which is possibly the worst experience you can have in this game, still a little better. We have more information. We now know when someone's being face cammed, and they do make some improvements here and there that allow you to play a bit better, even with.
And it's all
but a tiny little bit
for Survivor. It's all pro Survivor.
It's really important for some people. Quality of life improvements. You can now change the autos of scratch marks of different items. For some people,
congratulations, the art team pulled it off, guys. They fixed Dead by Daylight,
which they couldn't do anymore. And don't even get me started with the blood web. Some time ago, before my streams, I had to spend 10 or 15 minutes just leveling up the blood web. It took so long to do something so boring that after a while becomes so mind-numbing. I hate every single minute of it. Sometimes I didn't want to stream DVD just because I had to go through this because the max blood points were so low.
Yeah, the best updates to Dead by Daylight to date that makes it so much better, that makes Dead by Daylight so significantly crazy better than it used to be, is now you can pick your colors for scratch marks and hooks and everything, like auras in general, and faster blood web. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, yes, those are fantastic updates for just the base foundation, but what does it do for gameplay? You're gassing up the developers saying, oh, it's in such a better state. This game is so good. It's irrefutable. No, you can't argue against, well, the quality of life updates are great, because those are great. You know what they aren't great for? The gameplay. The things that actually matter when you're trying to play the game. Not the 10% of the time you spend in lobbies where you're just throwing in blood points, or the colors you change a single time and you're set and done unless you go back and change them again to be a different color, or tweak different things like this and that, the one-offs that don't even matter for actual gameplay. That's not what I'm looking at. That doesn't make the game better. Makes the game more accessible. Makes it a little nicer to look at. It doesn't make the game better. If you're talking foundational game design, yeah, it's better. I can't deny that. But you're also forcing the statement of, yeah, I have to say the game is better, which then you can just shoehorn in whatever you want to say, oh, you said the game's better, so the game's in better state. No, it's in a terrible fucking state. And having pretty colors in a faster blood web doesn't make it a better game. Makes it easier to actually access. Doesn't make it better.
It was horrible. And luckily, we don't have to do that anymore if we don't. We can just click a button, automatically spend the money, and then move on to what we actually want to do, which is to play the game.
They should have had in the first place.
Little improvements. If we were to put them on a graph, I guess it would look something like this, right? When the game came out, we had a lot of BS, and over time, this BS has gone down.
So, again, this is a lot of back in my day. You know, look, Skull Merchant was so god terrible awful, but it's way lower on the bullshit meter.
A little bit to the point where it's stabilized. There's still some peaks, there's still some things that sometimes come into the game and need to be fixed, right? But over time, the game is getting better. Well, if it's getting better, why are some...
It's not getting better.
Why are some people convinced that the game is getting worse? It has to do with the next graph that we're going to see, which is the player patience. Now, when you start playing a game, you have no...
It's because you're impatient, guys.
How the game is supposed to work, so you're very flexible. And when you enjoy it and you get invested, your patience might even get a little higher. At this point, if you go against a cheater, or if you have a massive bug, or maybe there's some kind of loss of progress, you don't mind too much. You don't even care. You will put up with it. But over time,
yeah, I used to.
It's going to start waning. When you first reach rank 1 and you get rewards, and when you first reach
I'm gonna let him finish.
top MMR and you start playing against better and better players, the game is going to lose a little bit of its charm and your patience is going to start declining rapidly. But oh my god, this has happened to me. When you unlock every unlockable in the game, your patience is going to start nosedive into the ground. When I reached the point where I unlocked every character and every perk on every character and every single one of the tomes, when I did all of that, now I had nothing to do anymore. The only thing I have to do is maybe prestige 100 every character, which is
well,
it's kind of like throwing blood points into a bottomless well. I'll never probably do it, so why bother, right? When there is nothing to do, every time that you get blood points, it's for nothing. Every time you get charged, it's for nothing. Every time you do something, you don't have a greater goal in mind.
And that's valid. That part is valid. So here's the thing with all that, though, is unlocking everything is such a nothing burger, because you can look up his website and use the meta build and just use that for your entire life. And the perks you unlock mean nothing, especially new perks that are garbage. It just means nothing. You have some form of progression and collection, and that's it. I play this game for the gameplay. That's it. Or I used to play this game for the gameplay. That's it. I don't care about the collectathon unlock everything. You know, the points can build up as much as they want. If there's an outfit I want, sure, but most of the time you have to spend real money for that anyways. So there goes your progression for that, the argument for that. And it's just, this is another thing where you can have temporary patience. Where, like, if a game goes terrible, you feel bad. But then you have a really good game, and you're just back up. It's not patience. It's the game's design. That's what matters. That's what it is.
And that makes it so much harder to enjoy this game. And what ends up happening, right, is that at one point, these two lines are going to converge. There's going to be a point where even though the game is getting better, you are now less patient and you will not put up with the bugs, with the inconsistencies, with a cheater, with...
And then, okay, so put all this together. How often and how fast does that happen? If we're going strictly off your graph, and I have enough other shit I can throw against this. If we're going strictly to your graph, how has the game itself at its core changed to make your BS and patience meters meet so much significantly faster than before? It has to be something with the base game design. And part of it is how you treat killers, because there are still a good amount of killers out there. That's just how the game is. PvP, you gotta have the killer. You don't have the killer, you don't have the game unless you're playing against a bot. So you already are pushing against killers. There's so much in the game that just beats them down. And a lot of it is perks for survivors and plus sides for updates for survivors. All these changes for, 100% benefit for survivors. It's not BS or patience. It's logistics. It's the logistics of, if I play Springtrap, yeah, it's nice to have the axe embedded in someone that I can grab and grab them on paper, but then it's, can I actually catch up to them because they move at my movement speed or faster most of the time? Is it, is it me not able to actually catch that survivor because I'm slow enough and I take so much time to catch the one person that gens go flying? 2-3 gens are done by the time I get the first hook, if I'm not lucky and find people immediately off the top of the match. Is it, the survivor is able to weaponize my character? Again, Springtrap, if they're able to, get caught by me and then still have something like DS, or still have some effect to give them protection against my ability. Like, Onryo's another perfect example. Why would I care to play the game? Because of the logistics of it. It's not a BS thing. It's not a patience thing. It's a one survivor can run around and deactivate my TVs, and I lose so much mobility, and the chances to even chase or get the drop on a generator or anything because someone just decides I'm going to run around and take the tapes because I can. It's not this BS graph and it's not this patience graph. It's how the game is designed, what they aren't doing to fix the game, long-standing issues with the game, and pandering to fucking survivors. Non-fucking stop. So that someone like me, whose entire goal is to get a single kill, can't even do that. Because I get pallet stunned and I'm stunned. I get flash stunned and I'm stunned. And someone leaps over the pallet and I'm stunned. And someone drops a flash grenade and I'm stunned. It's like, stop.
With a terrible teammate, with a horrible opponent that makes a game miserable, right?
Horrible opponent that makes a game... Fuck off.
Report that I am well past the line.
And part of that, too, is because of what they give Survivor. You're pandering to this crazy entitled state of the game where it's like, oh, all 4 survivors must be able to leave. And if the killer is not just baby standing in corner and timeout, then the game is boring. It's miserable. I can't deal with this. It's such a fucking bad game because, oh, poor baby survivor.
The point where the lines converge. Right now, DBD generally takes patience. Even small things make me want to quit, make me want to take a break. And I do take breaks and I do play other games. If I wanted to play this game as consistently as I used to, I would probably lose my mind.
And you call that patience, and part of it is patience, yes. But I'll use you as an example, Otz. When you've played this game for so long, and you're so much better at it, and you have such a high say in it, and you know all these things are good about the game, and it's in such a better state, why do you feel that way? It isn't because of your BS graph. It isn't because of your patience graph. Because the game, at a fundamental spot, is shit development or design choice, and they listen to all the garbage intake that they can and just push away any negative interjections. I want you to go watch a professional Outcast video, watch a bunch of them, and tell me where the problem is there. I want you to go and look at every single killer who has played their character and have missed attacks that shouldn't have missed, unless it is a genuine misplay. I want you to look at all the different stuns that happen for just normal players, the 95% of players. You look at all those. I want you to see the non-stop chases and pay very close attention to the generators getting done by the time they actually get a single down. I want you to look at all the different body blocking that happens, again, in this 95% range. And I want you to go back and look at everything that happens in match after match after match. And I want you to again tell me that the longer you go on, the less patience you have for the lower amount of BS that's in the game compared to before, supposedly. I want you to go back and look at this graph and tell me that you're still right about it, when it's not a fundamental core aspect of the gameplay issue and just oh, you're impatient because of the very small minor things that happen here and there. And it's not just the game fucking sucks and has gotten worse, because I could have played this 3 months ago and still would have been having a good time. But because of what happened, because of the changes they've made to the game, it's fucking miserable. And it's not a patience thing. It's not a, oh, the small BS thing. It's the game itself. There are perks and survivor kit, the base survivor shit, and the perks survivors get, where the first minute of every single goddamn match, generator done, no hooks, might be in chase with someone, might have gotten a single wound state on that person. The second generator is being done as I finally catch up to someone, best case scenario, to get them knocked down, and then right around the corner someone to save them, and I've lost 2 generators, and a third generator is halfway done already. Or closer. That's the problem. It's not the small minor tidbits here and there. The fucking game state. The entire thing.
So, the point of this video, the reason I'm bringing this up, it's not to gaslight anyone, it's to make some people understand that this game is getting better, but that does not invalidate your feelings of enjoying it less.
And this is just the very, this is more gaslighting, because you right off the bat was fucking gaslighting. The language you chose was, you're wrong, how dare you, let me show you why you're wrong. But now it's a backtrack of, oh, but it's not gaslighting. It's narcissism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. I'm quoting another YouTuber. That is so fucking abusive and manipulative and degrading that you would follow up all of what you just said and gave examples for and throw it in someone like my face. You are one of the reasons, Otz, that I have uninstalled Dead by Daylight, because it's that mentality. I'm not doing it anymore. I can't. It physically hurts me because of the sheer stress and you want to talk lack of understanding, or you just don't know? You don't get it. You weren't there. You want to talk that? Like, you're so blinded. You can't, again, you can't see the 95% of players. Like, I want to hear that again.
Gaslight anyone is to make, I would probably lose my mind. So, the point of this video, the reason I'm bringing this up, it's not to gaslight anyone, it's to make some people understand that this game...
Guy, you have to understand, guys. You must understand that you are crazy. The game is better in a better state. I'm not gaslighting you. I'm letting you know you are crazy. You are having these problems, sure, but not actually. You gotta understand, guys. I'm trying to make you understand. I'm trying to make you see that it was so bad years and years and years ago that it makes what happens today perfectly fine. You shouldn't feel that bad. And the feelings you have, oh, they're okay. They're fine. Please continue to watch my content.
Is getting better, but that does not invalidate your feelings of enjoying it less. I know
is getting better while they are actively working against every fucking killer player in this game. Unless you play custom games.
This has happened to me. I know this will happen
with rules and regulations
at some point, and that's okay. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to address this point, the point that DBD is getting worse. It certainly isn't, but sadly DBD has to do more if it wants to earn the love and earn the devotion of really, really long-time players like myself, like maybe you watching at home.
And you can't say that it isn't getting worse when it's getting worse. You can fluff it up all you want by saying, oh, but the foundational changes, like the quality of life, and you're able to move through someone body blocking you sooner, and you're able to abandon it. You can't say that the game is getting better and that it's going in an upward direction when the rest of the game is fucking trash. And what they're changing and adding is trash. You're going to look at me in full confidence and say that a token upgrade system for survivors being able to repair faster and heal faster, on top of being able to drop pallets faster, and all this different stuff that's coming up, is a net positive for the game. You are not going to look at me in the face and lie to me like that. You are one of the reasons why there are problems in this fucking game and why so many people feel so disenfranchised and so voiceless and like they don't matter, and why people like myself need to step away from the game potentially forever. Because yes, it is gaslighting. It's gaslighting and it's narcissistic. And it's so dishonest because you're doing everything in your power to point out the small foundation mechanical game design changes that doesn't actually defend the fact that this game is garbage. That when I, as someone trying to get a single kill is my objective, has to suffer through 5 gens sometimes of trying to get that single kill because of body blocking and flashing and all the different perks and abilities and skill that Survivor get, because some of it is skill. Don't get me wrong, some of it is actual skill. Other parts of it, though, it's just bad. It's not getting better. It's not. Some of the killers are just getting destroyed. Trickster, my main. You know how I feel about the new Trickster? The lower number of knives needing to be hit for laceration. Fantastic. But now I move slower. You know what 4.4 does to me? Means I lose most of my chases. It means I don't get to land the lower amount of knives that I have to work with that also throw faster at the base level. So I can't even build up my status. It also means I have to waste time doing side objectives to even stand a chance of being able to throw faster to actually catch someone, or to use my ability that I need to end chase faster so that people can't just abuse loops and walls and crazy tiles to just not get any laceration meter. While it decays faster now, by the way. And because I'm 4.4 and I get slowed down so much if I throw consistent knives, that sprint burst is just shadow buffed against my Trickster or Lithe or any haste. How is that better for the game? How does that make me feel like the game's improving when I can't play my favorite character because the changes they're making that are so crazy impactful that I can't keep up? You're wrong, and you're gaslighting, and you're using base game development shovelware garbage to defend the position. Whatever happened to caring about the community as a whole? Me? I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling like I don't matter. I feel like I'm better off not being part of the community. And so many people are going to be clapping about this and like, oh yeah, it feels so much better. And then the devs are going to keep making garbage changes, and we're going to keep being stressed out and see terrible changes for killer. And it's just going to go on and on and on and on until there is some significant competitor to Dead by Daylight. Like if IDV, Identity 5, had a dedicated PC version and not just a mobile version, oh, this game would be done. If we had Evolve still, this game would be done. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This guy.
This game really does not have a lot in store for us. I hope that changes in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting.
And it's so disingenuous. Let me know what you guys think. This isn't scripted. I don't do reaction videos. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. Comment down below, but let me know how you guys feel about this video. Check it out. Look up Otzdarva on YouTube. Check out his video. Check out, like I said earlier in the video, Professional Outcast. If you want to see basically the complete opposite side, someone who also has experience with other ASIMs and understands the sheer game design of an ASIM and has significant crazy experience with ASIMs. He used to be a top worldwide player in Evolve before it crashed. So maybe he has some solid input on how the genre should be ran. Maybe he has some actual good thought process on how the game should be. It's just me. I don't know. I'll have links in the description as well, leading to both channels. If you guys want to check out some content, once you guys decide, let me know what you guys think. Wander well.